That's, one of the most fascinating questions. What is the relationship between Anonymous and the media, right? On the one hand, I think Anonymous does exist because in certain respects the media is failing and Anonymous is taking that role, and yet Anonymous needs the media as well in many different ways. Oftentimes their operations are not successful unless the media starts reporting on them, and then it gets more people participating. So you can say the media is anonymous. Like, they have literally been responsible for the success of certain operations as well. Anonymous, both accidentally and then by design later, learned how to work with the media very well, with CNN, with Wired. I know in France, a lot of Anons have very close relationships with the media there and journalists. And it comes to show how important, the media still is in terms of getting messages out there, and that, we can't fully let go of that either. So I do think it is important to create channels by which you can get the media to come to you. And Anonymous has done that very, very well. And we saw this with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. Where Julian Assange became the celebrity persona, and he made it quite easy to do that. So in December of 2010, when WikiLeaks had released diplomatic cables, many financial institutions, due to kind of international pressure, especially from the United States, stopped processing donations for WikiLeaks, and Anonymous erupted into one of their most famous operations, Operation Payback, also known as Operation Avenge Assange, to protest what they saw as a kind of form of censorship or silencing. And many people also supported WikiLeaks as well, but it's interesting because Julian Assange in some ways is the antithesis of Anonymous as a kind of individual. But they weren't necessarily supporting him as an individual. They were supporting the right for WikiLeaks to exist, and also protesting the fact that in some ways WikiLeaks was being judged before an actual trial, arrest, these sorts of things. There's a couple of different scenarios, one of which is that there's infiltrators working for the FBI or some other similar group, and there's always rumors about that there's someone who is an agent provocateur, an infiltrator, and these rumors swirl about, not constantly, but they emerge from time to time, and it's completely possible. It's quite easy. It's always quite easy to infiltrate, but especially with Anonymous. On the other hand, people can protect themselves a little bit better compared to, let's just say, some environmental radical groups who need to physically work together to do something. Whereas with, let's just say, the hacking operations, I can be working with you, but so long as I don't tell you who I am, where I am, you may be an infiltrator, but you can't necessarily catch me. Situation has to do with people coming in a small group and trying to manipulate the situation for the sake of an operation. Does that happen? I haven't been able to verify whether that's the case. It does seem that the biggest operations, such as Mega Upload, have less to do with a group of people who are manipulating other human beings with the right convergence of events. So you had, in the United States, protests against the Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA, that were quite big, and then the takedown of a site. And this just angers many kind of people who are against internet censorship, and those world events are the spark. Does that mean that you can't have infiltrators and people manipulating the situation? No, they're not mutually exclusive. There's so many different operations within Anonymous, you can imagine that would happen. but I would say that's not the norm.